Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. In the fall of 2019, we decided to take my son Lionel on his first international trip outside of the Americas to Japan as a high school graduation gift. I hope you enjoy the video. Our first stop was at Racing Bar 100R by Denden Town. They charged 2,000 yen for the first 2 hours, which is about $20 USD. They serve finger foods and small meals here along with alcohol. You can work on your slot cars and even race them against others if there are enough people at the bar. Since I've previously visited popular tourist spots in Kyoto prior to this trip, I wanted to make sure he got the same experience for himself as well. We went to the typical tourist spots like Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, Kinkakuji, and Fushimi-inari. Dotonbori is the popular food, shopping, and entertainment district in the heart of Osaka, where you can sample and splurge on some of the best dishes and pose like the Glico Man. Kozenji Temple was built in 1637 and is tucked away in the quiet alleyway opposite of the bustling main Dotonbori area. Patrons come here to splash water on Mizukake Fudo statue and pray for prosperous business, among other things. We went to a fishing boat-themed restaurant in Shinsekai where you can literally eat what you catch and have it prepared fresh for you. If you don't catch a fish, they can do it for you, or you can order from the menu.
Ready? Got it. I did it!
As expected, Dotonbori on Halloween night was incredibly packed. Celebrating Halloween in the streets of Tokyo or Osaka are a huge highlight and attract thousands of people. The bridge began shaking as we were crossing because the two guys dancing by the ledge were telling people to jump up and down, and people actually did it, so it got a little bit scary. It's typical for a group to match costumes on Halloween, and we were supposed to match too, but unfortunately our luggage with the costumes was held up at the airport. We left for Tokyo and showed Lionel around Akiba, which can be a very overwhelming place because of how popular and crowded it is. Go-Go Curry is a must-visit for us because their portions are so generous and very hearty after a long day spent in Akiba. If you order their 2,500 yen plate called World Champion Curry, be sure to finish it because most places in Japan do not offer to-go boxes if you eat at the restaurant. Of course, it wouldn't be a complete visit to Tokyo if I didn't take him to Shibuya Crossing, where you can be counted among the sea of people who use it every day. He wanted to do some shopping, so we visited some popular street fashion stores. He actually saved up a lot of money specifically for this. We didn't have a lot of time to spend in Tokyo, so for our last day there, we went to Kanda Myojin Shrine. A lot of fans of Love Live visit this shrine to pay homage to the anime. By happenstance, we were luckily able to witness children dressed in their formal clothing for the Shichi-Go-san ceremony. Animal cafes are quite popular in Japan, and Lionel has never seen owls or hedgehogs up close before, so we went to Cheese Hedgehog Cafe in Akiba. I do want to say that some cafes do not give adequate care to the animals they keep, and there have been numerous cases of abuse and neglect. While I don't know the actual reporting on this cafe, there were signs I noticed in retrospect while editing this video. So if you find yourself inclined to visit one, please pay attention to reviews and try your best to choose one that treats their animals well. Going to a maid cafe wasn't actually on our list of things to do, which was a nice change of pace because none of us have experienced it yet. It can honestly be an odd experience if you're not acquainted with idol culture or if you think being served by young women in French maid outfits is weird. But if you take it just for what it is, then you'll definitely have fun. We ended up accidentally joining a Dia de los Muertos parade as we were leaving Harajuku Station. Before heading back to Osaka, we went on one last stop to Omotesando Shopping District so Lionel can get some Japan-exclusive releases from his favorite stores. There's an abundance of cute character-themed cafes all across Japan, and I'd be remiss if I didn't take Lionel to one during his first trip. Pom Pom Pudding Cafe had a lot of really delicious-looking food and drinks, and I wish I could have eaten more, but the food we ate was more than enough to carry us through dinner time. The weather in Hiroshima was perfect. This was the farthest out west I've visited in Japan, and I'm glad we got to come here together. By the way, the ferry to the island is covered by the JR Pass, so it'll make traveling cheaper by using it. Our first destination was at Itsukushima Shrine, where the famous floating torii gate is. Just like in Nara, there are deer freely wandering the streets of Miyajima, but these deer are a little bit more aggressive than their Nara cousins.
Why is it so blurry?
Unfortunately for us, the floating torii gate was under construction as part of the beautification for the now delayed 2020 Olympics. Going to the Peace Memorial Park was a humbling experience. The atomic bomb dome stands as a stark and somber reminder of one of the many dark events in human history. Since we arrived as the sun was setting, my camera unfortunately wasn't able to pick up any good footage. I'd love to revisit again one of these days. We had dinner at Ichiran Ramen, and there was a queue just to get seated. We went in with the expectation that we were going to eat alone, even if we start or finish at different times. But since there were a lot of big groups, it made the queue longer than necessary. The ramen itself was okay, but at least you can customize how you want the noodles cooked and what else to add. I spent the last full day in Kyoto where I had a photo shoot at Studio Esperanto. Andrew did his own thing and Lionel slept in at the Airbnb to get some much needed rest. This gave me the chance to walk around and really explore while following my vision. I'm a huge fan of the geisha culture, and it was quite surreal being in the historical district. I used to collect geisha dolls and have read memoirs of a geisha repeatedly, so finally visiting a specific area was a big deal. There were signs here to keep voices and noise levels low, but a group of tourists didn't adhere to that, which was a pretty frustrating thing. This traditional Japanese tea house themed Starbucks opened up in 2017. The design is meant to blend in with the rest of the structures so it doesn't take away from the aesthetics. You can complete your experience by sitting in one of the designated spots with a tatami mat. Unfortunately, the rest of the footage I had from the last day of our trip up to our flight out was corrupted. We basically spent the remainder of the trip buying last-minute gifts and eating dinner at Denden Town before heading back to our Airbnb and packing up. We were in the Philippines prior to flying out to Japan, which gave us a little over a week to really explore the country. So hopefully on our next trip, Lionel will have much more time to spend exploring Japan. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.